Hey guys, episode number 22 here of Daily Thoughts with David, and we are going to talk about something that's not politics today because we talked about Russia and Ukraine and the U.S. yesterday. We're going to talk about some UFC stuff that's coming up, the UFC fights that are coming up. We're going to talk about crypto a little bit, and we may get off onto some other topics. So today is Wednesday, the 22nd of February. It is rainy and disgusting here in Indiana. Before we get started, I want you guys to go ahead and subscribe if you're on YouTube, or follow if you are on Rumble. We are slowly growing our audience on both platforms, and I am so glad to have all of you guys watching who are out there. Let's go right into UFC first. If you guys are UFC fans, fantastic. If you're not, you probably are not interested in this. However, there are some awesome UFC fights and UFC events that are coming up in the next couple months. I have some of them written down right now. Some of the ones that I'm most excited about. We've got Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo, which is, I believe, UFC 288. We've got Charles Bronx versus Beneil Dariush, which is for in the lightweight division. I believe that's 287. John Jones versus Cyril Gane is coming up, I believe, in March, like the first week of March. I'm really excited about that. I just went back the other day and watched Alex Gustafsson versus John Jones 1, and that was a fantastic fight that was just absolutely incredible. So I hope that John Jones can keep up that momentum and that kind of fighting style even at heavyweight. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title, and that'll be, I believe that's 286, something like that. And then we've got Gaethje versus Fiziev, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, the guy from Kazakhstan. So those are some awesome UFC fights that are coming up here in the next couple months. Actually, John Jones is not that far away. I think it's like less than 2 weeks. I don't actually know what the fights are this weekend. I don't really pay attention to the fight passes as much because there's some good ones on there, but I like to watch the belts, so maybe I'm just a casual UFC fan for that reason, but whatever. I do want to talk a little bit about Power Slap and the whole Dana White thing. To be quite honest with you, I think Power Slap is probably one of the dumbest things that I have ever seen in my life. It's entertainment value just for the entertainment value, and it's extremely dumb. I do watch some of the videos though on their social media because I think it's kind of hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a big money grab. Power Slap is just a big money grab. And I think those guys that are actually fighting, you know, slapping, whatever, they get paid $2,000 to show up and another $2,000 if they win. So your payout if you win a Power Slap fight is $4,000 to basically be guaranteed brain damage. So I don't think that's really worth it. I mean, maybe it is worth it for some guys who don't give a shit about their brain cells, but I see some of these videos of the Power Slap guys just getting absolutely obliterated and just knocked out, like one hit, one slap, you know, and some of these slaps are just like punches basically with an open hand. But the slap gets into a bigger topic about Dana White. I didn't want to talk about this right away because there was a lot of heat going on Dana White, and I didn't really know how to respond to that, or tell people, you know, it's obviously wrong. He shouldn't be slapping his wife in a club anywhere. I think it was in Mexico or something like that, but he shouldn't be slapping his wife anywhere, period. And that just seems way over the top. And it doesn't matter if you're drunk. It doesn't matter if you're angry at your partner. It doesn't matter if you're whatever. There is not an excuse to slap your wife or girlfriend or significant other. That's not a thing. So I think she did slap him first, but he's a grown man. He's a pretty big guy. He used to box. He doesn't need to be doing that. And a lot of his sponsors have not come out and said anything about it, which I think is kind of odd. I don't think he's lost anything from it. And I'm not saying that he should lose. Maybe he should. I don't know. I don't really have clear thoughts on this. I know it's wrong, but should you lose sponsors if you do something wrong and you're the CEO of a company? I mean, the company didn't do anything wrong, right? It was just Dana White being a fucking idiot, right? That's the long and short of it. I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I'm against the whole cancel people's sponsors because of their political beliefs, and in this case, it would be the personal actions of the CEO of a company that has nothing to do with what he's doing, right? But I think we've known for a while that Dana White is maybe not the most stand-up guy and has done some things in the past that are not necessarily kosher. So that's my views on the UFC and the whole power slap situation and the whole Dana White slap situation. Yeah, get rid of this power slap stuff. I just need to say that again. It's just wasting UFC time, UFC screen time. So there you go. Cryptocurrencies are currently having a hard time, and the market is having a hard time. I'm starting to day trade a little bit more and do a little bit more in the crypto space, and I'm finding it extremely difficult to maneuver right now because we had a really nice little bear market rally for about a couple weeks there in January and early February. But I think after the last really hot CPI report, the Consumer Price Index, along with just some worsening conditions in the market, we've seen a lot of companies come in under earnings projections and lower expectations when it comes to future earnings for 2023. A lot of the Fed chairs and a lot of the policymakers have come out and said that it's going to be a rough ride through the inflation storm, and I agree with them. I think we're not even close to being out of the woods yet. I think interest rates are going to go much, much higher, and we could see interest rate hikes all the way through the rest of the year and possibly into 2024 if we can't get this inflation thing under control, which we're really having a hard time with now. So, crypto, I trade a lot of Cosmos or Atom, and it's the $ Atom is the, whatever the ticker. And we've just been seeing a lot of pullbacks when it comes to price action. Volume is staying pretty consistent though, which is good. Bitcoin is around 24,000. It's been really trying to hit over 25 for multiple weeks in a row now, and can't get over 25,000, which is understandable. I think there's a lot of people who are hesitant to go over 25,000 because of market conditions, especially in cryptocurrency. Tesla stock is up there near 210, I think, but it's not having a good time, or not having an easy time passing 210 right now, 210 a share. And just a lot of headwinds when it comes to these big economic factors. So I think in the coming weeks, and possibly today is going to be a pretty big day when it comes to the future of the markets, just because it's the middle of the week and it's the end of February, and we're starting to try to figure out what we're going to do for the rest of the year. But I will report back on the cryptocurrency financial status here as soon as cryptocurrency and market financial status, as soon as we get some more data and some more information. Besides that, there's not a whole lot going on in my neck of the woods. The chickens, the new babies, I'll probably do a video about them here soon. They're settling in. They're doing just fine. They're growing quickly. Our medium-sized birds are getting all they have a whole set of feathers that they're growing out right now. So if you guys have not controlled your food supply, you need to do that now. As I was saying yesterday in our video about World War III and the possible conflicts between Russia and Ukraine, and Russia and NATO, and China and Russia and NATO and the United States, we could be seeing a hot war at some point in this year between major superpowers, depending on how things go. Obviously Putin pulled out of the START treaties, which is a big deal with the nuclear arms race, basically. So if you guys do not have control of your food supply, you need to start worrying about that now. Get some chickens, plant a garden, do whatever you got to do. Start even stocking up food, because regardless of what happens, if there's a civil war, there will be martial law, and food will be rationed for whatever happens in that case. And you may not be able to get the foods that you want. And if there's a world war, then that may lead to a civil war. Or if there's a world war, then there will be a wartime economy, which is going to be terrible, which is going to be worse than what we're at now, where they're going to be rationing stuff even more. There'll be, all of the food and the resources of the country will be going towards a world war, or towards fighting whatever we're going towards. If that happens, I would almost guarantee that any kind of imports from Russia and China would be stopped. Actually, I can definitely guarantee that will happen, especially if we're at war with the country. And a lot of the resources of the world will go towards whatever's happening in that conflict. It'll be COVID times 10, times 100. you won't be able to get toilet paper, and that will be the least of your worries. Fresh foods, if you can't grow it around you, you probably won't be able to get it. Fuel prices, I would assume, would go up, just because of the need for fuel prices and other things like that. So, or the need for fuel. But yeah, anyway, let's get back to food supply. If you guys don't have any way to control your food supply, or at least stockpile food, now is the time. There's all kinds of people out there in the financial space and the economic space who are blaring the warning sirens of an upcoming depression, at least. So I kind of had a feeling at the beginning of this year and at the end of 2022 that 2023 is going to be a hell of a year, and I think a depression or a very deep recession is going to be part of that. If you can control your own food supply, you will not go hungry, and you'll be able to feed yourself and your families. So I'm not trying to be an alarmist here whatsoever, but I think we can all feel as Americans, and even people outside of our country, can feel that the world is not well right now. Things are not normal, and it hasn't been normal since the end of COVID, which has been almost 3 years ago now. But things are not normal, and I think we are looking towards even tougher times in 2023 and 2024. There's a lot of conflict in the world. There's a lot of division in this country, in the United States. There's a lot of uncertainty about prices and inflation and housing and infrastructure and policies that are going forward. So take control of what you can, which one of them is your food supply. Anyway, I'll stop harping on that. We have been going now for almost 12 minutes. Make sure you follow me on YouTube if you have not, so subscribe to the channel. Ring that notification bell, because we're going to keep doing this every single day. You need to go to the Instagram, which is David Coleman YT. I post on there as much as I can. The Twitter is Colma63ETH, which is, I do a lot of stock trading and crypto trading, and that's the platform that I use to talk about that and politics. And then, of course, on Rumble, it is David Coleman 27. YouTube is David Coleman, because you're probably watching on YouTube right now. If you're not, go to Rumble right now and follow me. We're getting some followers up on there, but a lot of likes on Rumble. David Coleman 27 on Rumble. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you on the next one.